A very good day to you and welcome to our program. I want to ask you a question. Are you afraid to die? Do you have a fear of death? You know, in 2009, at a Mighty Men conference right here next door on this farm, I was dying. I was actually dying, and multitudes of men prayed for me and God healed me. And He healed me in 15 minutes. But while I was lying there, I could see everything. I could hear everything, but I couldn't speak. I saw my family around me. Some of my children were weeping. My blood pressure went to 0. They put a needle into my artery, in my arm here, and they put in raw adrenaline to try and keep me alive until the 911 helicopter came to casevac me away to the nearest hospital. I lay there and I was dying, folks, and I want to tell you there was no pain. There was total peace. And I was confused. I said, Lord, this is the biggest time in my life. There's more men on the farm than I've ever seen before. But I had absolute peace, no pain. To die for a believer is to be with Christ. So there's nothing to be afraid of. I want you to go with me to the book of Hebrews chapter 2 and verse 14. I'm going to read one verse only. And this is what it says. Hebrews chapter 2 and verse 14. Inasmuch then as the children have partaken of flesh and blood, He Himself likewise shared in the same, that through death He might destroy him, that's the devil, who had the power of death. That is the devil. Verse 15. And release those who through fear of death were all their lifetime subject to bondage. There's no more bondage if you love Jesus, madam. You don't have to be afraid to die. Paul, the great apostle, who said in Philippians chapter 1, verse 21, for me to live is Christ, and to die is but gain. So if I live for Jesus. If I die, I go home to heaven. Folks, you cannot frighten a Christian with heaven. If we live for Jesus. If we die, we go home. The devil's power over death is destroyed. Death has lost its sting. That is the ultimate. That's why when Jesus died on the cross of Calvary and He said, it is finished, He meant it. It is finished. Because 3 days later, Jesus rose from the dead, and He proved to all the demons in hell and the devil himself that death has no hold over a believer. You really need to understand that today. It's very important. A lot of people are afraid to die. There's nothing to be afraid of. Nothing at all. We should not be afraid of dying. Psalm 116 and verse 15 says that it is sweet to die in the Lord. It is sweet. The Lord loves those who die in Him. The Lord is waiting to receive you into heaven. We are not far from home. It's not far, folks. It's very close. Absent from the body is to be present with the Lord. Simple as that. A very short time from the instant of death and the eternity of glory. The thief on the cross said to Jesus, remember me in paradise. He acknowledged Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior. The Lord said, today you'll be with me in paradise. I really believe that. I believe when a believer dies, he is immediately taken up into heaven and he is with his Redeemer. As your eyes close on earth, they open in heaven. God bless you. Goodbye.
We trust that you have been blessed by today's message. For more information, please visit angusbuchan.com.